Marvel Age Star Wars. My name is Sean. I'm here with Brooks and Greg.
Greg's back.
Hey, Greg's back.
Just assuming that was the cat I heard in the closet.
You keep cats in your closet.
I don't
Cats
keep
in
them
the
there, but
closet and
sometimes
a
they're
silver
there.
spoon.
Cats in the closet.
Yeah, that's what I was just singing. Are we on a delay? Can no one hear
You
me?
guys hear me?
Okay, so
okay.
we're going to
we're
read
do something with Star Wars. I said Marvel Age Star Wars. That shows how long we've done one of these. This is a Star Wars. We haven't done one for a while.
Yeah, and they were
I
some
did
of my
want to show you
favorite
though
things.
because we haven't done a show and tell for a while. We talked about those Star Wars weeklies.
Oh yeah,
I got
Here,
a couple of those.
Can I make you full screen? How does this work?
Why don't you do whatever you want, Chief?
I don't know how to do it. I'm sorry. Okay, well, never mind. Those look cool, man.
Well, there
They do
are.
look a little bigger, but not much bigger than comics.
They are big. Well, I mean, just for reference, that's a regular size comic.
Yeah, so they're like the Ninja Turtle kind of size.
Bigger. In America terms, I don't think it mattered in the UK is what these are UK printings, but in American terms, magazine didn't have to conform to the comics code. So the Marvel magazines were much more risque.
That's how you got those savage sort of Conans with all the half-naked ladies running around.
Exactly.
Getting
That's
heads
why Conan
chopped off.
was a lot more savage in the magazines.
His sword was much more savage.
Savage, yeah.
So speaking of Star Wars,
it's funny, we haven't done one in a while for the show, but that's sort of reflective of the time in the comics because during the switchover where Roy Thomas stopped being the editor of the comic book and Archie Goodwin took over, there was a sort of period of 6 or 7 issues because I went pouring through issues and I'm like, am I just missing them? Because usually it's like 1 or 2 issues at the most, but they went about 7 issues after Roy Thomas
7 months. That's a long time.
In fact, we'll get to it because I noticed the very first letter is like, hey guys, where the hell is Star Wars? So
let me say real quick, I was on a comic book forum and we were talking about Star Wars, the comic, and I mentioned, someone said, did the comic come out before the movie? And I mentioned, it's like, yeah, we actually did a show talking about letters that were written in from people who hadn't seen the movie yet. And someone contacted me on a private message and said that he had written one of those letters. I don't want to say who it is because, I invited him on the show and he said he wasn't interested. So I don't want to, he respect his privacy. But yeah, one of the letters in issue 4, which was the first one we did, was written by this guy. And I was like, how cool is that? And what's neat is I got to talking to him afterwards. Let me see if I can find this. Should have had this loaded up. This was cool. He actually said he was recently part of the Rise of Resistance attraction at Disney parks, and they put his copy of issue 4 from his childhood into a time capsule there. Like, isn't that cool?
Cool. That is cool. It is really cool.
So it's real people out there. We read these names, and I had to go back and watch it. It's like, was he one of the people I was kind of mean about, made fun of? But he wasn't, thankfully. Because some of these guys were like, But yeah, they're real awesome, people out there. How cool would that be? That part of history like that. I mean, it's a small part of Star Wars history, but it's part.
Well, we should throw out there then is like if you wrote to Star Wars at some time during the course of its run.
Yeah. You are absolutely welcome on our show if you did that. We'll read your letter and we'll talk about it and it'll be fun.
Yep.
And of course, you're always free to contact us and send us comments for any reason, but Star Wars. So what issue is this?
This is from issue number 16, which was the Bounty Hunter issue.
Oh, the Valence issue?
The one that featured none of the actual players.
Okay.
So we won't get the comments yet on that. I remember that being a fairly fun letters column when someone finally did respond to like, no. In regards to the rabbit, no.
Editorial note
about hopefully
Jackson.
We're finally getting some reactions to the stuff that goes
the original
beyond
stories,
the adaptation. So this will be fun.
Okay, all right, let's go. You can start, Sean.
Okay, so This is Juliana Jones in New York, New York. He writes, Dear Archie, Carmine, and Terry, whatever
Man,
happened to your letter column Star Wars?
they printed the
Yeah.
address and everything, didn't
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know.
it's a
Can you
choice.
can
Like
you
a lot of
imagine?
well, that like we went over this the last time we did one, but I published a letter in a Nightmare on Elm Street comic and put my address and somebody wrote me and we wrote back and forth for a little while.
Yeah,
That was
it's
back in the days
different
before the
times.
internet. People posted their address because that you would had pen pals
And you
if you
weren't
wanted to
afraid of
correspond
getting
with other fans.
murderized,
Yeah,
I guess, like you
getting
are now.
swatted by people.
they?
Yeah, that wasn't a thing.
So you did this on a Nightmare on Elm Street book.
Yeah, the
mean,
kind
Yeah.
of
you think
people that
that
write you back might not be.
yeah, really. I was like, hey
That's
man, I
perfectly.
like
You read the quality of my letter.
but all
I
right.
thought it
But
was a fine
perfectly
letter.
nice.
I thought it was perfectly
And
nice. Oh, this is a big answer.
But this was strangely enough, I believe this kid was also in Australia. It's funny how when we start these correspondences off, it's always someone. I'm very big with Australians. I tend to connect to Australians when we're talking about stuff.
It's your fondness for all things dangerous
Yeah, exactly.
and
That's what
scary.
people say. It's my middle name being Danger.
Danger.
Well,
Yeah.
two
What was
things
what was that
actually,
Wiener
Julie.
called himself? Carlos Danger.
Yeah.
So this
Go
is
ahead.
Juliana, but they felt familiar enough to call her Julie.
Yeah.
Two
really,
things
taking
actually,
liberties
Julie.
already.
The phenomenal success of George Lucas' Star Wars movie. You notice how they always say that in these? They always say George Lucas's
Sort of
Star Wars movie.
backhandedly compliment themselves, though. They're like such a huge success that we're indirectly a part of.
But why not just say the movie? George Lucas's Star Wars movie.
Maybe they want to name drop him. Like
Not, I
give him
think it's
credit where
neat.
it's due.
Okay, we're already off track, but it's interesting
Or it's
because
in his contract. Like you must
well,
always
not
refer
that,
to
but
it
just
as
said
George Lucas's Star Wars.
in the 70s that a blockbuster would be known by its director so much. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I mean, you see
Well,
Lucasfilm, but you
Spielberg
don't see
started
like
that. That's
you don't. I don't
after
feel like Star
Jaws.
Wars the
That
whole
was sort
time
of
was like
the
you know.
thing.
It could also be
Maybe
that
that's it.
this is so at this point things are so new that Star Wars is not necessarily a noun yet. I mean, it's like, the Star Wars movie, the movie about Star Wars, as opposed to the way we use it now, where we say Star Wars, everybody knows what you're talking about.
Yeah, that may be true.
Yeah.
The phenomenal success of George Lucas's Star Wars movie, not unsurprisingly, carried over into our Star Wars comic. We found we were reaching a readership much broader than that of the average Marvel comic book, which ain't exactly chopped liver when it comes to reaching people either. It's like,
If you know what I'm saying.
pat yourself. In short, a lot of people were reading the Star Wars comic who don't normally read comics at all. So, in our sneaky, mercenary, but basically lovable fashion, we decided to let this great untapped group in on what they could have been missing by putting in as many ads as we could about the multitude of other Marvel masterpieces available for the discerning reader. It's like, I'm not going to print letters when I can print Spider-Man ads. Are you kidding?
I like how they just come out and say it. Like,
Yeah.
we're not behind editorially, but we just wanted to print a lot of ads. And
Yeah, we're
so
cash
we
in,
print
baby.
Letters.
Yeah, that's a bit refreshing, isn't it? Because now there'll be some sort of marketing speak that'll probably go in there.
In order to ensure maximum exposure, we even sacrificed a letters page for a few issues. Then the second thing happened, namely writer-editor Archie Goodwin, in all caps. He's nice, he's amiable, he's even a fair to middling writer and holder of several awards to attest to that fact. Are they being funny or are they
This is
being
almost
mean?
certainly being written by him, by the way.
Okay,
Like,
all right.
usually the
That's probably
editor
him.
responds to letters.
But he's slow. As a direct consequence of that, he's often late. Each issue, he's assured us he'd take charge of getting the letters page done, and then each issue he'd run a little late and have to postpone it until next issue. So what began as just a few issues without letters page grew into quite a few issues. Finally, we armadillos had to put our collective foot down, and the weight of that collective foot seems to have done the job. Mr. Goodwin hereby formally apologizes to all of Marveldom and Star Wardom. I like that.
Star Wardom.
Mm.
I like
Assembled.
that they're armadillos. Does anybody want to field why that's a nickname.
There's a story
That's
there.
okay.
We don't know. Some
I
bullpen
don't know
thing.
about it.
I don't know.
Assembled
you
and
know,
throws himself.
Contact button.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let us know, Mr. Goodwin. I've lost my place. He throws himself
I'm gonna
on your
point
mercy.
Right here.
He further swears that henceforth he or assistant editor Mark, is that Grunwald? How do you say his name?
Grunwald, I guess.
Grunwald will absolutely and positively have a letters page prepared for each and every issue. We'll see about that. We believe him,
Yeah.
but we're
Definitely
keeping a
paperwork.
collective foot on his neck just in case. Good grief, guys. Maybe one of the reasons
Yeah.
that you're having trouble printing letter columns is he write 6-page responses to a 1-sentence letter.
I like how you were getting that means these could all be letters.
Yeah.
The time you finally
But
take
first-
to show a letters column, you print one letter that says, "How come no letters column?" and no room for anything else.
Here, you want me to read the next paragraph? Brooks?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Seriously, we do feel the letter pages are an important part of our books. One of the few chances for dialogue between all of you and all of us. Man, they don't know what's coming, do they?
Mm-hmm.
Digital
Well,
revolution.
This is a good 20 years before that. So.
It was
Yeah.
kind of
yeah.
civil back in those days, though. But
And
Yeah,
I
really.
imagine
also
they didn't
moderated.
think that 20 years later on this new medium, people would be reading these letters.
I know. A book without such a dialogue isn't quite the book we want it to be. So please keep your letters and your opinions coming. They're important to us. Even letters that don't get printed do get read. We like to know what you're thinking. Oh, and if what we're thinking is what you want you're thinking.
No. And if what we're thinking is what you want.
Okay, it's what you want. Okay, some of the punctuation got kind of weird there. Having gone quite a while without a regular letters page and having eaten up the above space explaining why, we'll turn the rest of the column over to excerpts from mail on various issues just to bring things up to date.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
So is this a letter?
another letter then?
Oh,
yeah, it is.
They should have put a space
Oh,
there.
Yeah,
For
say
real, I guess.
not using Microsoft Word here, are they?
Okay. Well, I can. Yeah, I'll take it.
Okay.
Chewbacca is being shown as much too vicious a fighter. We have said this in multiple issues, so that is a good one. Sure, Wookiees tear out
Snoop.
people's arms if they lose, but once is enough to discourage any future winner hopefuls. The tactic becomes a bluff, and any viewing of the movie shows Chewie in particular to be not much in favor of the closer calls. True, he chased after Han in the corridor, but when Han outdistanced him and he heard the blasting, he paused and let Han retreat back to him. And even Han accused him of being scared of the garbage monster. I'm not saying make him a coward, but his fights should be toned down with his showing more fearful caution. It was part of his personality, so why hide it? Also, Chewie should be more cool, literally closed mouthed. He seldom showed so much teeth. Does he have a gentle side? That's from
He does
Ken
with those
McCarthy
ladies in the
Waterloo,
bar.
Illinois.
Yeah.
He's got that Chinook going for him.
Nope. Yeah, I do think that the way they've portrayed Chewie, both visually and the way he behaves, was a bit much in these early issues. It was just like this
about
monster,
that
like a Hulk-like
Maniac.
monster.
Well, and his character, probably really didn't fully evolve until Empire anyway. To where you.
That's
realize
true. But I felt
Yeah,
like
he
He's
sort
like
of
hugging Luke at the end of Star Wars and
I
stuff.
feel like he had
has a
he
gentle
had some
side.
character in Star Wars. I felt like
'Cause
more
there
than
was
he
some-
should
I
have for
remember
someone that
Harrison
didn't have
Ford
any
saying
real
that he
dialogue.
Harrison Ford was afraid that kids would find him scary. But then when you see him in the makeup and everything, he is literally just a big dog.
Mhm.
It was, I know a lot of fans don't like the Solo movie. I love the Solo movie.
I thought it was good.
Um,
I enjoyed it.
it was nice to see Chewbacca get to be a little bit more of a character in that movie, and more of Han's Jiminy Cricket, I guess, is like
His conscience.
he's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
which is what he
conscience,
was
or
in-
just the guy who's like is. I guess a Sancho Panza would probably be a better.
He does that in
analogy.
Star Wars, even though in the first movie
Yeah.
he's like,
Yeah.
it's like I know what I'm doing. Like he's saying we shouldn't leave Luke to go face this alone.
Right. So,
If I had to hang out with
yeah,
any Star Wars character, I'd hang out with Chewie. I mean, truthfully, he'd be
Yeah.
the one I think I'd want to. I don't drink beer, but if I had to have
Yeah.
beers with somebody, I'd have beers with Chewie.
Especially, if I was given to shit talking, I definitely would want Chewbacca around. Like
Yeah.
Han.
As
Because
you
Han's
are.
always like, Han's
Yeah.
always the one saying, just between you, me, and the wall, Chewie's rip people's arms out. Chewie's like, what'd you just say to those guys? Don't worry. I took care of it.
I love that bit in Solo where he looks at his cards and Chewie goes, "Ugh." Like, that just says it all right there.
I have
Let's
but
see,
one
Tom
request.
Brogdon said, there
Okay.
you go.
I have but one request for this comic book. Bring back Darth Vader. And I guess I could see that, but they're only on issue 10 here, right? That's what they're talking about?
He
Or
just
do
wants
we
to hear
even know
that.
yet?
And yeah, they haven't even had a storyline that has Luke in it properly. Like they do
Yeah.
bring Vader into the comic as much as they can get away with. Like they had
Yeah.
some stories.
By
with
the
Vader.
time we've read, maybe not by 16, but which is this where this one's in? This is in issue 16.
Remember how scary we used to think Darth Vader was?
Yeah, when I
Well,
was
you don't
5,
see
of
much
course.
Well, and you
Well-
don't see much of a character. He's scarier the more they revealed him. Like by like
In
when
Empire, he's
Empire,
scary.
Luke is
Yeah.
fighting him, and
Yeah.
you're like, yeah, he's losing, but he can fight Vader. So Vader's less scary in this one because he's fightable. Like
Yeah,
Luke
but he's also,
can fight
I
with
think he
him,
was scarier. This is again
but then
getting
he had
off
those
topic.
scary Force powers.
He was scarier in Empire than he was in Star Wars. Because in the first one, he's
Yeah.
fighting an old man and just kind of. And the second
Well,
one,
we didn't know about all these telekinetic powers. He's just like pointing at Luke, and all this stuff is flying
Yeah,
at him.
and also,
it's
I
nuts.
feel like even as a kid, I could tell that he wasn't fighting Luke with all, really trying to kill him. He was just messing with him, like playing
He's
with
trying
him.
to catch him. But
Yeah,
there are moments where Luke gets a good one in because he's holding back.
but
And then by the time
he's
Jedi comes
scarier
along,
to me
Luke
there.
definitely is dominating Vader. Like so.
Well, Vader
obviously
wasn't
by
scary
time
in
Jedi
Jedi.
comes
He was
along.
kind of sad.
Yeah.
It's like it's too late for me, my son.
Well,
But-
and that's kind of where I was going. It was like, I guess because now we know so much about Darth Vader, Anakin Skywalker. It's like
Yeah. Well, if you watch the prequels, Vader's not scary at all.
yeah. I mean, it's
Even
like
appears at the. They should have found a way because one good thing about Rogue One is when they do use Vader, they make him a maniac. Like he's
Mhm.
scary in Rogue One. They go out of their way to make Vader terrifying because there's nobody there who can fight him.
yeah.
But if you watch like Revenge of the Sith, and he's like, "Oh no, what did I do?" Like, why are you having him be Vader in this scene? It doesn't work.
Oh,
He should have turned
terrible.
to Vader early on and been in that outfit throughout that movie, and we should have seen him become this scary figure. And I know what he's going for, like this sort of sad, tragic figure at the end when he becomes Vader finally. But I find it hard to think that a person watching the prequels first would think that Vader was all that scary a villain going into the fourth movie.
Yeah. I agree with that. Of course, I look at it from the hindsight of having seen them all in the order that they came. But like these days, I don't know. I mean, if you had a kid who had been following Star Wars movies and started with Episode 1, how scary he would have thought would think.
I'd
Darth
like
Vader
that
is.
feedback from people because
Mhm.
that generation's out there now. There are people who grew up with the prequels and loved them and are Star Wars fans. So that's interesting to me. That's a
Mhm.
whole different kind of Star Wars fan.
Yeah, maybe we should
And
find
I'd be really
a younger
interested in that
person to
perspective.
join in and tell us how they feel about things.
Yeah, I'd love to hear that perspective. from
interview
people, 'cause
them
That's
from an old
fascinating to
people
me because we're like,
perspective.
they're ruining Star Wars. It's like, no, it's fine for kids, just like it was fine for you when you were kids. Settle down.
Okay.
Grab this one, Greg.
Star Wars number 10 was one of the best drawn issues yet. Howard Chaykin
Yeah,
has brought Star Wars to third on my list of favorites.
like these backhanded.
What I love about that
compliments.
is like Star Wars 10 is almost certainly not
Not
drawn
Howard
by him
Chaykin.
very much at
Yeah.
all.
Mm.
Like he was
Like-
basically doing breakdowns and getting, and the rest of it was being ghosted by a different guy.
It's like the less
Maybe
Howard
not
Chaykin
Steve
draws on
Ailoa.
these, the more I like them.
It always cracks me up because that's not they did that during the adaptation. They were like, issue number 6 is definitely his best work. It's like I'm pretty sure that one was drawn almost exclusively by Steve Leiloa, but whatever.
And I love this
That's his
comp. This
legacy. When you
backhanded
phone
thing.
it in, be careful.
It's now 3rd on my list of favorites. Like,
Yeah.
oh, thanks, I guess.
Yeah.
What was it? Bridesmaids when the guy was talking to Kristen Wiig's character. He's like, "You're not my number 3 anymore," or whatever. Like, because he's got a bunch of women, and I don't know. Never mind. Let me scroll down a little. Carmen Infantino has been a personal favorite since 1960 or thereabouts. Does his art go back to 1960?
Sure. Yeah,
What
used
was
to
he?
draw like Adam Strange comics and stuff.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's
Interesting.
one of those reprints. Well, all these guys who have super stylistic art styles in their later work, like you see, like Gil Kane or Jack Kirby, even if you go back to their earlier work, it's much more subdued. They were drawing like standard comics, and then they developed their wild art styles later when they got more known and they had more credibility. But yeah, Carmine Infantino has stuff going back.
The passage of time has not dimmed his power nor my esteem. His SF work, science fiction, I guess, has always been especially fine. And in Star Wars, he has accomplished what Chaykin somehow could not. He has fused his own remarkable style with Lucas's visual concepts beautifully. And Terry Austin's first-class inks are icing on the cake. Bravo. We've talked about this before.
Yeah, this guy nailed it. Yeah.
We've talked about this before in these letters too, but I find it interesting how many letters are about the art. I mean, some people are like, I like the stories, I like the character, but a lot of them are about just the art. And it's I know it makes sense.
And
it's
you wouldn't
Star Wars
expect
is
that.
probably a little different because Star Wars draws people in on story more, but a lot of people were and still are mostly drawn to comics by the art. So it makes sense to me. It's just interesting when you see something cross into a medium like comic books where the art is so important to them.
Okay, Kim is now my new favorite. You grab that, Sean.
Okay, to date, your production of Star Wars has been superb. I even give you leeway for literary license, but Star Wars number 8 was too much. Don Juan Quixote? Really?
Yes, Kim. I agree with you. And we talked about this.
We try things. Sometimes we just try stuff.
I mean, it's cute, but at the same time, it's borderline goofy.
It's totally goofy, but I'd rather see them being goofy than like in the Dark Horse days.
Oh no, yeah, me too. I don't want it to be overly serious, but Don Juan Quixote. Like, come on, man. We still want to kind of pretend that we're in the real Star Wars universe when we're reading these stories.
Well, it was mostly unformed at that time, though. You know, you got characters named like Walrus Man and Hammerhead, like
yeah, but they don't call them that
or a
in the
Hedgehog
comics.
Man.
His name was Hedgie.
Okay, that's true. Hedgie, yeah, please.
Hedgie the Hedgehog Man.
Mr. and Mrs. Hedgeman named me Hedgie.
Well, yeah, Don Juan Quixote is probably a little on the nose with that one.
Yeah, I was like, it's
Totally.
not subtle enough.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
they even had him looking like it and stuff. Star Wars number 11 was definitely the best yet. What is 11? Is that that's after the
it would have been
stuff.
on that Waterworld when they
Yeah.
Waterworld story started.
So I agree with that. That probably is the best up to that point. The Goodwin Infantino team was marvelous. Keep up the good work until Chewie the Wookiee becomes flea infested. Make mine marvel. And at that moment, the moment he becomes flea infested, I am out.
Yeah.
Very strange. Okay.
Peter Shink. Okay, go ahead.
California.
No, okay.
All these are in California.
California
Or New York.
No, some of them are in New York.
The next guy's from Durham.
California.
The next guy's from Durham, North Carolina. So it's actually kind of fitting that I'm reading this.
Yeah.
So far, I can't do a redneck on demand.
Is that enough? Yeah, that's a weird.
Just be yourself, Greg.
So far, Marvel's continuations of the. I got that. Okay, that's great.
So far, Marvel's continuations of the Star Wars. I'm gonna do it. You done screwed it up.
All right. Don't do drugs.
And you don't do the drugs.
Money's come unstole.
So far,
Sir?
Marvel's continuations of the Star Wars characters' adventures have been great. My only suggestions are, is that a period? More of the Jedi Knights, more of the Force, make Luke Skywalker become a Jedi. After all, Ben Kenobi was training him. Keep Don Juan Quixote in the series.
See, that's what I like. A little love for Don Juan Quixote.
He is
Nice.
interesting. More of the rebellion. Remember that? More of Darth Vader and the Empire. Sorry, Mike
Let's hope
Harris.
this guy
I
isn't
know you
Alright,
one
don't.
of
well,
the guys who.
I know you don't
sees us
sound like
reading his
that.
letter.
I know you don't. Hey, we're in Georgia. We can't talk. Literally, we can't
Oh,
talk.
We can't talk.
Yeah, I mean, you
Oh,
see,
well.
Done
I guess,
RUNOFT.
he liked
I guess
Don
all we
Juan.
can
I
say
feel
about-
bad for him because Don Juan did not
Love it.
last. In fact, 16 was the issue probably where he died, wasn't it? Because he was killed
Yep.
by Valence.
Well,
and
he
them.
got his wish in the way he may not have wanted.
Yeah, I guess
And,
bring him back
Well, we
and then
brought
kill
him
him
back.
right away. And the
Keep him.
saddest, most depressing way
We'll
imaginable.
keep him dead. Sorry.
And as far as the rest of it goes,
Oh, this
you know,
is
coming right up.
Oh, Gilbert. Gilbert, come on, man. Not you, Gilbert.
All
Gilbert
right,
Avila.
Gilbert.
This is you can read this, Greg, since I took it from you last time.
Go ahead.
You're not going to let Sean read somebody named Gilbert?
You can do it, Sean. Go for it.
I don't own the name Gilbert.
Hmm.
There's lots of Gilberts in the world.
Oh,
There's Gilbert
okay.
Gray.
Hey, fellas, if C-3PO had a nervous breakdown, would he have to go Sigmund Droid? But no.
Ah,
Would he
Waka,
have to go-
waka,
would he have to go
waka.
see Sigmund Droid? Man, of all the times to not have a hat on hand, it's so close too. I didn't know. Would he
Oh,
have
man.
to go see Sigmund Droid? What?
I love, you know what I do
Apparently-
love? The joke is questionable. But I do love that these guys keep writing one sentence letters and mailing them to Marvel.
And put it
I
in
know.
an envelope and put a stamp on it.
Yeah, and
and
take the
took-
effort to take
took
it to the
post
mailbox or whatever.
It's like an old timey, like 1800s meme.
I do believe it may rain.
Like he said, oh, you know what'd be funny? Sigmund Droid. I'm going to write Marvel.
What?
They're going to
Yeah.
use that. I'm sorry,
That's
Gilbert
gonna
Avila,
get
if you're
printed.
out there. We're just having fun.
Turns out they did. Okay.
Now
guess
that
this
I
is-
know that there are real people writing these letters, I'm nervous about being mean to anybody. I should be nervous about being mean anyway. I should never be mean.
Well, hopefully we're not mean.
No,
I
we're
don't
not
think we're
vicious.
being mean, but I don't want anyone to take it as mean.
Okay. Is this all right? This is back to the editor.
The
right?
editor, yeah.
Okay. I'll read it. And so it goes. In closing, we're also sorry. Man, a lot of apologizing. We're also sorry to have to announce that that last issue, number 15, was also the last issue for regular inker Terry Austin.
That is
Terry
correct.
came aboard with issue number 11 and stuck through the entire Waterworld Crimson Jack saga, which wound up last month. His deliciously detailed renderings have drawn a lot of favorable comment from most readers, to say nothing of a lot of heavy oohing and eyeing right here in the offices of Marvel, starting with writer Archie Goodwin and penciler Carmine Infantino. Unfortunately, the commitment of 2 monthly titles, Terry also inks our popular X-Men book. Man, the grammar here, just,
It's fine.
punctuation, just
Yeah.
Terry also inks our popular X-Men book. Proved too much for someone who puts as much work into a job as Terry.
Inking's a lot of work.
Yeah.
That's true.
And X-Men is
He's
like,
promised us.
yeah, that's a big book at that
He
time.
did great work on X-Men.
Well,
too.
yeah, I think he-
and
I
that
think he's
wasn't
smart
some
to
small
places.
book. That was at his prime.
Well, I was about to say, I think he's probably smart to place his emphasis on X-Men.
This is
as far as
around
from
the,
a comic book.
The Phoenix Saga,
Exactly.
probably around that time period. Go ahead.
You had that.
He's promised us to try to do an occasional fill-in issue, so we haven't lost him entirely. Unfortunately, we've got an equally talented young gentleman to jump into the rather deep breach left by Mr. Austin's departure, namely Bob Wyacek.
Wyacek. Is that how you say it?
Wyacek.
Wyacek?
Wyacek. I believe it's Wyacek.
I thought so. I don't know.
He did
Alright.
some work on earlier issues of the comic too.
Bob handled the finishes on the issue's special fill-in story, and as of this writing, has volunteered to keep it up on a regular basis as Cavorton Carmine after a short sojourn on a special Star Lord project.
That'd be fun to read.
Okay. Takes up the regular penciling chores next month, and we again pick up on the adventures of Luke Skywalker and company. So farewell, Terry. Many thanks, and Bob, glad to have you with us.
Was this the issue? This
Good
might.
stuff.
I don't think this was the Valence issue. I think this might have been the 15.
Yeah,
Was
it's the
the
Valence issue.
was it not the Luke one where he was racing?
This is number 16.
Is that
That's
where
which
this
one
is from?
This is from.
Okay, I thought they were. They're talking
Yeah.
about 15 here.
They said Terry Austin left in issue number 15.
15, and that's the one where Luke was doing the race with the Skyhopper. Or whatever.
Yeah. Suffering starfires, or whatever the hell it is that Jackson
Yeah.
says.
So that's fun.
Leap and leapus.
What other rabbit words do we know that we could work into this somehow?
Give me some cosmic carrots.
Cosmic carrots.
Hopping galaxy bunny tails.
I love Jackson too. I may just start collecting the Star Wars Adventures comic, the one they make for kids, because they got like Jackson and stuff in that. That looks like that's more fun to me.
Yeah, why not, man? Buy that stuff. Give Jackson some support. Give us some support. Give us a comment and like.
Yeah, let us know what you think about these things. We will get back to reading some more of the comics proper now that we're into it.
And I always love the letters.
But yeah, that was fun.
And I
really love the letters, because as much as I love the comic stories as a time capsule, the letters column as a time capsule is so much more interesting to me.
Yeah, it's actually
how people responded,
like sociologically, archaeologically interesting. You know, the actual history of fandom.
How tightly they had already bonded with the material when there was so little material. Like, it's like this and not like that. Like, and there's so little go on.
There's somebody's master's thesis in there somewhere. I think it'd be
like the letter about Chewie, and they're like reading into his character stuff that wasn't really shown, but they're already giving him a fleshed out personality in the fandom. It's kind of neat.
Yeah, I love it.
Really cool. Yes, thanks you guys for having me as a guest reader.
Yep. You'll see more of Greg on TV Ate My Dinner, which you can also find on this channel.
We are not doing a lot of TV Ate My Dinner lately, although I feel like some of the bonus stuff we've recorded while doing Watch Along Gang probably might get fed into some TV Ate My Dinner.
Yeah. Oh, wow, that's old.
TVAteMyDinner.com is still there. It's not fully updated with everything we've put out. I've got to get back on some stuff. I've been doing a lot of writing lately, and it's been holding me back from some of the podcasting.
You need to stop with your actual creative pursuits, and let's talk about things that other people created.
Yeah, instead of the stuff that no one follows or cares about, do maybe the one thing that somebody does.
Even the things that we are talking.
Let me be your agent for 2 seconds.
This show is also something that no one cares about, so that doesn't fit your criteria.
I was talking about Watch Along Gang, Brooks.
Hey, we've got more subscribers than that does.
Up on this show.
This show has more subscribers than Watch Along Gang. It's the least subscribed of all our projects.
What the hell is Watch Along Gang?
Greg doesn't even know.
Oh, that's right.
He's part of the gang.
It all yet.
He's in the gang.
I'm part of the gang, and I don't know it.
Well, you haven't done any of the Watch Along stuff with us, have you?
No, but he's part of the TV Ate My Dinner crew.
You're part of the gang. The gang.
I am a founding member of the TV Ate My Dinner crew.
But we recorded a bunch of Watch Along videos and stuff. Some of
it's the reaction thing that Andrew's heading up.
They only just started putting some out.
I see.
You should check them out. Watch them.
Yeah.
Let's see. Well, what's up there? Yeah, Watch Along Gang is available on YouTube, so we can put a link out there so people can get to it. But right now, I think there's 3 of the Loki episode Watch Alongs that we've done are up on there. Andrew said.
I've only seen 2. I got to watch the 3rd one.
I'll have to see.
And there's a bunch of trailers.
And he has another 2 ready to put out. We've done some
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, the 4th Texas Chainsaw we did. We did one on the 1st Texas Chainsaw, but I'm gonna when this Loki business is finished, I gotta circle back around because there's some audio issues for that one.
So check that out, everyone, including Greg.
And a couple that we haven't even put up on the channel yet. There are a couple of movies, and we will do. I didn't realize, but we talked about doing Howard the Duck. Just because, but it is like the 35th anniversary of Howard the Duck. I keep seeing all these things online about like, why is everybody talking about Howard the Duck the movie so much right now? because it's an anniversary of the movie.
I didn't
So it's
realize that either, but I've been seeing
topical for us
more talk about
to
the
be
comic
covering
and
it.
stuff. I'm like, oh hey doggy. I'm like, why are we talking about Howard
Look at
the Duck?
Virgil looks very nervous right now. See that?
Oh,
He says it's going to rain.
it's
Oh.
not because of the
All right,
skeleton sitting right in front of him.
No,
The
he's
monster
not
posters on the wall.
4-year-old child. He's not afraid of a fake skeleton.
No, he's
He's a
afraid of the
dog. He likes
rain,
bones.
like any reasonable adult would be.
Oh,
Like a
Yeah.
reasonable adult dog.
rain.
My
rain or
dog's
thunder?
scared of thunder. I understand, man.
Thunder can hurt people. What is it, like on Family Guy? He's like, helicopters can hurt us. I protect the house. If you're afraid of helicopters,
Well, thanks for
helicopters
watching.
can hurt us.
Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you soon. Take it easy. I'm Sean. Jesus. I'm
Sean,
Brooks.
I'm Brooks. I'm Greg.
I think I'm Sean.
Maybe we should keep the names on our little windows for now.
Yeah.
I guess it's necessary.
Apparently, we're getting to the age where we need to have something with our own name stuck on the bottom of it.
I'm Ron Burgundy.
All right.
But
Bye-bye,
Turd
everybody.
Ferguson.
Go
Yes.
fuck yourself, Sandy.
Oh, no. Okay, with that, I am out.
Like and subscribe.
Snoop.